Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're removing the Gen 3 out of this MR2. As you guys can see, majority of this stuff we're taking apart. I did this off camera because there's nobody else to film it, but Gen 3 is coming down. Out with the O. Hey, what up? Gen 5 is going up. Say goodbye to Gen 3. Welcome Gen 5. Welcome back to another episode of the Gen 5 and MR2, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I want to show you guys one modification that you have to do in order to mount the alternator bracket from the Gen 3 to the Gen 5. The difference is the intake flange. This is a Gen 3, so this is shaved out clearly surrounding the flange itself. It doesn't stick all the way to the bottom. For the Gen 5, this part sticks downward more, so you gotta shave this off if you use the MR2 alternator bracket. Well, these are the two pins for the axle carrier, and you got to replace those two pins. It was advised to install those two pins, but I went ahead and installed it without the pins anyways, just to get it in there. I'll worry about it later. That's not a main problem. But the alternator is all mounted. You won't be able to use the stud that's from here. You either have to order a new one or use the bolt that comes with the Gen 5. And everything else, well, you gotta replace the crank pulley, because the Gen 5 crank pulley, as you can see, there's one big rib that is, I think, 5 or 6 ribs, and the other one is only a 3 rib, or yeah, 3 rib, so it won't fit. Plus, it's too small for the alternator. It won't tension the alternator belt all the way. Well, the Gen 3 is outside, and it'll be going to a new owner pretty soon, shortly. I had to borrow the Gen 3 cooling pipe. This is the Gen 5 that I swapped over, and there it is. That's the Gen 3 laying outside. I know it's a mess out here because I haven't cleaned up anything yet. I just installed this yesterday. Well, here is the Gen 5 installed inside the engine bay. I still got little hoses here and there just to clean everything up. I gave it a fresh oil change, refill the coolant, connect all the shifter cable, bled the clutch. Looks like it's gonna be good to go. I just need to order, I'm waiting for a new couplings. A friend of mine, which is in the MR2 community, he happened to have a lot of the parts laying around, so I'll probably get it through him instead of ordering it, because it'll take about anywhere from a month to 2 months just to get new couplings. I didn't want to upgrade the intercooler piping yet because I'm undecisive and I'm not sure which one to go with. But as far as the engine, Everything bolts in. I ran the heater hose. You see a couple lines that I didn't plug up yet, but that's not important. The heater hose is right there, that big line. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. There you go, the lines with the wordings on it. Instead of ordering from Prime, 2 hoses cost you about 50 bucks. I just went ahead and grabbed a 5/8 hose from AutoZone, which is down the street from my house, a block away. Just ran that hose directly all the way towards the back, about, I would say, 2 feet, give or take 2 feet. 2 feet of hose. And the other part I wanted to share with you guys is, instead of plugging the there's 2 coolant line. There's a upper and the lower coolant line. The passage coming from the block, guys that have done it, they plug them up at the block, which I don't like to do because I like to keep it functional. But the line, the bottom line runs out to there, right below the wastegate. And that line, I basically bought a replacement line about, I would say, 2 feet, and just wrap them around and install it right in the passage. If I could show it to you guys here without ruining the image. There we go. It goes right under the coolant tree, and that is the line that it's almost like a U. I just bend it. It's a straight line, but I just bend it. It doesn't have any crimp or kinks in it. I reused the Gen5 coolant tree, swap out the coolant temp sensor, and left this one open because the Gen5 don't use this temp sensor. It uses the other one with the 3 wires. Actually, it's 2 wire. So I'll be plugging all the lines up as soon as I get the intercooler piping connected, and maybe order a new throttle cable. That cable is a little short. I've seen guys modify the bracket and pull it forward and chop one of the legs off. I prefer to keep it all original, so I'm going to be replacing the throttle cables. That way it could reach the throttle plate without putting tension on it, unnecessary tension. It won't drop the idle. This is the ECU that Bob was nice enough to, as you guys can see, his name is on it. He was nice enough to front me his, and in exchange I gotta give him mine. That way he can send in mine later on in the future to have it hacked to eliminate the immobilizer. The harness was done by Wire Gap. Doug did the harness. I was a little skeptical about the harness because I didn't see a couple of plugs for the fan, intercooler fan. I guess Doug wired everything up pre-wire already, and the OBD2 plug is here, so you don't really need to use a diagnostic port anymore. However, he left the diagnostic port available. This is unnecessary, but it's there for those who want it. I'm going to be mounting that, or probably hide it somewhere, reroute it, chop it up. Oh, the dipstick is in. mounted it in as tight as I can. Well, as you can see, you need a 45 degrees from here to here, from a 2.5 to 2.75 inch, 64 to 70 millimeter couplings. All right, let's start it up. I have a check engine light lighting up. I think it's one of my sensors showing faulty, so I'm gonna run a diagnostic on it. I'll hook up a scanner and find out which sensor is not plugged in. It could be my damaged O2 sensor that I have right there. It's bent. You see the tip of it? There we go. It's twisted. So I'm pretty sure that's damaged and it's not functioning properly, and that could set my engine light. That is going to be it for this episode. Once I hook everything up, I'll give you guys a recording, keep you guys up to date, and do a road test. Woo, Gen 5, all done. Goodbye, Gen 3.